Markpoints are an incredibly useful tool for keeping track of targets and points of interest, crucial for close air support. We can store up to 9 markpoints. To create one, you simply hit the Markpoint button on either our HSI or the SA page. Depending on the context, this will store a different location. Each time you hit the Markpoint button, it will increment to the next, showing the number of the next markpoint to be created when pressed. Once we've exceeded the 9 markpoints, it will roll back over to Markpoint 1, upon which, pressing Markpoint again, will overwrite the previously stored coordinates. You access markpoints by incrementing either below waypoint 0 or above waypoint 59. You must make sure that sequence is unboxed, otherwise you will be unable to select markpoints. Markpoints are denoted by the letter M preceding the number. They can be used just like any normal waypoint, with the exception that they cannot be added to a sequence, but they have the advantage of being quick to create with our sensors. If we have no target designated and hit Markpoint, it will create an overfly markpoint. This takes our current location of our aircraft and creates a markpoint at 0 elevation. Perfect to use if you've just overflown a threat or landmark and you want to save its location. The second method is to use any of several systems to designate a target. With the HUD and an auto mode weapon selected, we can use the ball and chain designation method to visually pick out a location and designate. Now with a point designated, we will store that location when we press Markpoint. The targeting pod can also be used in a similar fashion by slewing onto a point of interest, hitting designate, and then pressing the Markpoint button. You can use this to scout out and store multiple targets in the computer before you reach the target area. We can also use the ground radar to cue markpoints by designating a point and then pressing Markpoint. Markpoints are invaluable if you're in a complex environment with many targets of opportunity in a changing situation. You should make a habit of creating a markpoint on any target area that does not already have a dedicated waypoint for use as quick reference should you lose the location with your primary sensor, allowing you to cue your FLIR pod back onto the target area if you get lost. Don't forget you can also cue weapons to the markpoints as they use precise coordinates, so this is very handy for attacking multiple targets in a single pass. By making use of markpoints you can create a picture of a combat area, allowing you to keep track of major threats and easily pass on information, allowing you to take on a management role over other aircraft entering your area. Lastly, I've noticed one issue that I assume to be a bug with the initial release. If you find yourself unable to select the waypoint designate on a markpoint and it flickers back on and off, hit the undesignate button and try again. This should resolve the problem. As a result, if you're incrementing between multiple markpoints, you may need to press the undesignate button between selecting each markpoint. I would expect this as a bug and it to be resolved soon. I hope you enjoyed, and take care.